Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about dreams, ambitions, and goals. Before I delve right into the topic, I have a few questions for you guys. My first question is, raise your hands if you ever had a goal or a dream of achieving something in your life. My second question is, raise your hands if you were ever suggested to change that goal or dream depending on your financial or your social status at that time. So my third question is, raise your hands if you ever tried actually to change that goal, taking in the advice of others. You see, these are some of the questions that often cross my mind. Being a girl, growing up in a middle-class Indian family in a third world country, I was often urged to change my dreams to fit to that boundaries of attainability. Let me give you a small example. So, in my childhood, I indulged in a lot of role play games. So, one such game involved these miniature kitchen toys, which you can see on the left side of your screen. So girls in my neighborhood were given these miniature kitchen toys to play with. The rules of the game were very simple. You portray to be a housewife performing cooking and cleaning tasks around your miniature kitchen setup. But unlike most of the girls, I was uninterested in playing such a game. So I chose a different role-playing game, the one that was centered around a workplace. My game involved me grabbing a plastic bag and putting anything and everything in that plastic bag, like a stone or a twig, and I pretended that to be my business bag, and I finally pretended to go to my workplace. So this motivation of choosing this game too stemmed from the fact that I observed my parents every day while growing up, getting ready and going to their workplaces. As innocent as these games are, we often do not realize the kind of influence they have on child's mind. Of course, being a child, I had to take things to an extreme. So there was this one occasion, I pretended to go to work, but I actually stepped out of the house and started walking down the street. Unless some neighbor of mine luckily spotted me at the end of the street and then escorted me back home. And all of my family members on that day were reprimanded for not taking care of myself, not taking care of me. Does anyone remember this Spy Kids movie while growing up? So in this movie, we had two siblings who had access to high-tech gadgets who actually transformed them into spies. I was largely inspired by this movie. I wanted to make those rocket shoes which could fly above the ground and take you anywhere in the world. So someone told me that if I have to make those rocket shoes when I grow up, I had to take the guidance of a rocket scientist because, rockets, shoes, they were all one and the same thing for me. So I embarked on this quest of finding such a scientist who could guide me in making these super cool shoes. One day, my mom informed me about a rocket scientist who's also called as the Missile Man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So I had to share this plan of making these super cool shoes with him. I took a pen and a paper and charted my plan of making these shoes. I even had a diagram of some sort for illustration, and I decided to mail it to him. I know that Dr. Kalam resided at that time in Rashtrapati Bhavan. So that was the address I wrote on my letter, Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. Now, when I shared this incident with my friends, they scoffed at me. They said, Hasita, do you really think you would receive a reply to this letter? First thing, you did not have a precise address on the letter. Second thing, he is the president of India. Do you think that he has time to read a kid's letter? Although my hope was dwindling, I just held on to that glimmer of optimism that someday Dr. Kalam would reply to my letter. And to my astonishment, he did. I received a letter from the then President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. For me, this was enough fuel to encourage me to pursue an advanced degree in STEM just like Dr. Kalam. I wanted to do a PhD degree. I wanted to become a doctorate just like Dr. Kalam. Again, so this aim of mine wasn't well received from the society. There was this one instance when I met a renowned professor in a prestigious university to inquire about a PhD program in his university. His reply was very disheartening. He said, "Hasita, why do you ever want to pursue an advanced degree? You're a girl. Get married, have children, be happy in your life." At that point, I could stop myself. I did not want to argue with the professor, so I remained calm. And then I started thinking for myself. I started comprehending what I truly desired in my life. Sure, having kids, getting married, and dedicating life for them gives you immense joy. But would I be truly happy trading my own career for that? Would I be truly happy knowing that I just have to conform myself to this traditional family role? I didn't think so. That was not for me. So I finally decided to go ahead with my plan of pursuing a PhD degree. Now, growing up was very hard for me. It was as hard for me as it was for my parents. The love trap, what I call it, was very common among young individuals, and I wasn't an exception to that. But after a lot of ups and downs, and I finally broke free of that illusion that I have to live for others, and then I started living for myself. I dared to dream again. I refocused my goal. And I started saying no to anything I wasn't comfortable with. In my quest of pursuing the PhD degree, I landed in the United States of America. I was the only family member to have pursued an advanced degree or to have thought to pursue an advanced degree as a PhD in a foreign country. I got all the support I could get from my family, and I decided to collaborate with my guide and all of the friends around me. And this collaboration played a very significant role throughout my PhD journey. I even took up painting, which was stress relieving and added a flavor to my personality. PhD is a deeply engrossing journey. It even stays with you when you're asleep. But with the help of your family and your friends, nothing seems to be impossible. So after long days of studying and focused determination and hard work, I finally accomplished my goal. The day finally came when I became Dr. Kaja. Now, in my entire PhD journey, I've learned a few lessons which I wanted to share with you guys today. So the first lesson I learned is, you would come across some people whom you disagree with. But at that time, I suggest you to stay calm and comprehend for yourself what you truly desire in your life, and also understand their perspective and where they are coming from. Now, the second lesson would be that every dead end has a turn road just before the dead end. You should have the ability to see that turn road. So, do not be afraid of the obstacles you face in your life. They might turn into some turning point. You never know. Finally, I thank all of the people who have been part of my PhD journey. I wouldn't have done it without them. And I thank you all for your attention today. Thank you.